Hey guys, I'm Mike and this is my quick reference guide for blending modes in Mega Studio and Photoshop. We're on to linear burn. This is a strange one. Some of these blending modes, linear burn included, are best used sparingly or with a low opacity or something as an effect rather than trying to create something with them. In some ways it's sort of impossible with linear burn. So the way that this works is I have this scan of this pet portrait on the bottom layer. I haven't edited it in any way. You can see it's kind of washed out. So we're going to use linear burn to darken up some of the areas and add some color, but maintaining the basic shape of this thing. It's not like we're gonna if we wanted to darken up an area and like this, we're just overwriting the pixels. We don't want to do that with it. Whoa, I didn't want to do that at all. What we want to do is sort of combine them together in a way that's hopefully pleasing. Although, know that linear burn, it's meant to look like the sort of like the silver halide photography, like color burn, but darker, much darker. So I have this linear burn layer sitting on top, and if I just fill, let's use like a light with the light blue color, you can tell it gets super, super, super dark. So if you just want to use it as an adjustment layer on top of your work, you can certainly crank the opacity way down and darken up your work and sort of unify it with that color. That's one way certainly to go about it. Another thing that you can do is if where you have super light areas, if you want to darken those at all and add color, like let's just say I wanted to add now, I don't know why necessarily anyone would want to do this with a painting, and the darker the value you have, the darker it's going to get. So at least there is some correlation between where you put the some modes, the calculation isn't just to get darker or whatever, and it can be confusing. So this one, your value is going to show up and your color is going to show through. Kind of bring out the purple down here. This is certainly a very stylized way of rendering. I'm not sure I've ever rendered that way. I've just used it as an adjustment layer on top or as part of an effect. But the more you back off the opacity, the subtler it is. And you can just add little bits of color here and there and darken at the same time without having to, let's say, use color mode and then go underneath or go over top and darken the pixels or darken or something. It's doing two things at one time. You're adding a little bit of color and darkening, but it's so stylized that I can't specifically tell you what it's going to be used for. You just have to know what it does and find uses for it. So I hope that makes sense. It can certainly get very, very extreme effects if you are so inclined to obviously this isn't meant to be a demonstration of art itself, but as you can see, even when you use a super extreme version, since it's darkening the pixels underneath along with you, you're maintaining some form until you get to so dark that they combine together and they make black. So you want to, when you're using this, you want to typically use lighter values and work your way into dark. Or you can paint with black and then that's another thing that you can do. So if you take this, you take black, if you wanted to darken a whole image like this, you can do that. So anyways, that is linear burn. Hope this has been helpful. The rest of the modes, along with some that are truly amazing, videos for and have better explanations of are on my channel. So like and subscribe, and if you have questions, put them in the comments, and if I know the answer, I'll make a video response. Okay, thanks guys.